and welcome to Youth Connect on Trust TV. I am Fejiro David Osai. Today on the show, we will be talking about the decline in morals in our society. Morals values are fading these days. The youngsters are busy preparing their careers and enjoying their life. They have little concern for social problems or family affairs. Joining me to interact and help us have a better understanding in the topic today is Mrs. Oge Ezemulo Wago. Thank you very much for coming on the show, ma.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma. So, ma, please, what can you say about the decline in morals in our society? What can you say are the causes of decline in morals in our society today?
When you talk about morals is basically and is more of rules that governs like everyone, community, the whole world. And when you talk about value, two of them are correlated. Value is what you believe as well. So both must work with each other. Okay. Now, what causes moral decline in the society? One is lack of compassion, lack of people not being responsible, people not being able to cooperate, to forgive, and people not being respectful. There are so many causes of moral decline in the society. Again, you can't take it out on the youth that, yeah, the youth are not behaving well in the society. Everything boils down to the upbringing of the youth. However, some people argue and believe that moral is innate, meaning moral is inborn. Yeah. Yes, everybody have their opinion. Why people believe that you learn moral and moral values as well. But the causes why it's embedded in the youth always starts from the upbringing. How your parents present themselves to the children, how the youths were trained when they were growing up, the kind of life they are exposed to. Now, when a child is growing up, this child knows nothing. It's what you embed on that child. If you embed respect, taking responsibility of your action, being empathy for your fellow human being, learning how to cooperate with others, learning how to forgive, then the society will be better with morals. But if we have, let's say we have 5 families, family A is teaching all these moral ethics to their children, family B isn't. When these 2 families meet in the society, it's either one of the pair gets experience with the bad family or influence them positively, or the family B influences negatively. So the causes is overwhelming. Again, in generally, like what is happening in the society, when I talk about not being responsible of your action and parents not taking care of their children, so many youths, you mentioned them thinking about their career, they don't care about the society, they don't care about the family, they don't care about anything. That's because their family is not caring about them mentally and otherwise. Not just the finance part, but also mentally, and how these children, how these youths perceive the society. You will see in the social media, there is so many, they will tell you Yahoo boys, this, that. You can imagine a child coming back home, maybe a child of 18 years, 20 years, and buying an expensive car for the mother. The mother won't ask, how did you get this car? So everything, we just pull this down to the youth. Youth this, youth that, immorality there and there. What about the parents who gave birth to us? What about the people who trained us? What about the people who guided us? They are the people. That's why they keep saying charity begins at home. If you have 5 families from A, B, C, D, E, and all this, let's say, honesty, cooperation, responsibility, compassion, empathy, forgiveness are well embedded, the society will be good. But when the parents are not putting their mind on what to do to their children, always maybe when they have failed, they are having so much expectation from their children. How do you expect them to behave in the society? So that's why there is a lot of decline of moral in the society, because first, the parents have failed. When you talk about community, when you talk about the world, when you talk about society, the first society and the first community is the family. So if things are going wrong in a family, these people, if parents are training hoodlums, they're going to come into the community, they're going to come into the society, they're going to come into the world. So that's why all the moral values are declining, because I believe that some of our parents have failed.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so what would you say are some of the examples in moral decay in the society?
Okay, for instance, like I said, there are children or there are youth that maybe their parents have tried their best in, putting food on the table is very difficult and all that, and they go out of their way or ahead to put hands into immoralities, able to impress. I like to use the word impress their parents, or maybe their parents is comparing them with other people's family. Now, such an example of moral decay is the youth who are choosing not to focus on education, but focusing on how a short term on how to make quick money. That is the one priority. If you look at it in different aspects, both man, woman, the youth, some of them are selling drugs. Women, some of them are sleeping around to make money. That is the number one decay. Immorality. The quest to make money when you're not even of age. The quest to belong to the society. The quest to be a celebrity. The quest to be noticed. The quest to be able to be like your neighbor. So these are the decays. These are the examples. And it keeps lingering. It keeps reoccurring. And the society, the government is not doing anything. Yes, I have apportioned part of the blame to the parents, which is number one. Then number two, there are some youth who have met the ones who are positive in moral society, but they have refused to learn. However, when you become an adult, you are able to identify the moral value, the right and wrong. But some youth choose not to because of the quest to fetch money, to become noticed, to become part of the famous people in the world.
Okay.
So that is what the decay is.
So are you saying that it is wrong to try to gain an education and at the same time try to gain a life? What about some of the youths that don't have parents, like you said, to guide them? Mm-hmm. So is it wrong to want to gain an education at the same time try to get a life?
For instance, everybody understands that moral is what is. When you say what is, ethics is whereabouts. Now, moral is what is wrong and what is right. Yeah. What is good and what is bad. When you are a youth and you're studying, it is not wrong to get a job, part-time job, or create a business. But it is wrong to do it the wrong way, in a way that it will affect you personally, your family, and the society. Because even in the Bible and generally, youth are the brave, and they are the future of tomorrow. So when you are a student, when I was a student, yes, I have other things I was doing, but you have to do it in a way. That's why I said cooperation, respectfully, When you love respect, you have to do things in order not to disrespect the other. So if you're a student and you chose a business to do, you must make sure it doesn't affect the next person wrongly. That's empathy and not sympathy, but empathy that, oh, I'm doing this business, it's not going to affect my parents, it's not going to speak wrongly about my parents, it's not going to speak wrongly about me, and it's not going to speak wrongly about the society. So it is right that you're a student, you're focusing on your studies, and you have another part job, you're creating business to help your parents, or maybe your guardian, or maybe yourself. But make sure you put empathy, you put respect, you put compassion, and you put forgiveness in it in order not to affect the society, the people around you, and you in particular.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Are moral values decreasing or increasing in our youths of today?
Well, moral values, like I said earlier, they are correlated. It is decreasing. If you say, what are the few things to learn for moral values? I will repeat: respect. When you have respect, you will respect your neighbor, you will respect yourself, you will respect that when you steal. Let me give you a very good example. Assuming there are a group of people that stole, or you people are in group, you guys are a team. If you respect each other, if you don't lie to each other, if you don't kill each other, if you cooperate, everybody will benefit. But when you lack these moral values, like not being honest, not being respectful, not being compassionate, not cooperating with others, cheating, not being faithful, both in business, in workplace, in family, in society, in projects. Moral values, it will keep declining. Now, with the examples I've given earlier, if these youths, they have respect for their family, for the people around them, for the people that represent them, there are so many illegal businesses they won't do. Look at the social media. You will see a boy of 17 years trying to sacrifice his best friend to make money, for the quest of money. You see, that is not compassion, that is not empathy. And when they found that the boy was the only son and the only child, and he didn't know that's where the best friend brought him. Now, this boy doesn't have respect for his friend. He doesn't have compassion for his friend. He's not honest to his friend. So these are the things that make up moral value. If you and I and everyone in the society have this core moral value, the world will be a better place. That's why it keeps declining. That's why it keeps decreasing. That's why everything in the society keeps looking as if we're going backward. But with core moral value, it's going to get better.
Well, we are going to go on a short break now, and when we are back, we will continue. Don't go anywhere.
Trust TV. documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Youth Connect on Trust TV. What are the things that were immoral in the past that are moral now in today's society?
Okay. First of all, there are a lot of let's say during our mother's time in the past, maybe the 1960s, 1920s and all that, the moral was not declining. That's the truth. Now with your question, that gets me thinking, and I wouldn't like anybody to get me wrong. In those days, we hardly have what they call single mother. When I mean single mother, I don't mean the widows or the divorcees and all that. It was immoral those days to have a woman who is not married pregnant. Yes, it was like an abomination. But now we prepare to get pregnant. In fact, we choose who we wish to impregnate us. Yes. During those days, women are expected to get married. And again, let me explain this thing vividly. It is that way all over the world. Because sometimes Africans, they feel that we are the only one that understands what is tradition and respect, male, female, and all that. It's also like that in the Western world. It is what it is, both home and abroad, that yes, this woman was not married and she got pregnant. It was called unwanted pregnancy those days. Like I said, I'm emphasizing on your question. Those days, it is barely 10% that a woman gets pregnant out of wedlock. And when that happens, they call it abomination. Even when we were growing up, we were also told that that is an abomination. In fact, that you're going to be killed if it happens. Yes, our mother told us that as well. You know, but these days, I will say with empathy that some of them, it's not their fault. Some were deceived, some were raped, you know. Some were promised marriage, some were didn't understand what their cycle is, some are not educated. That's how I perceive this day. However, it's still what it is. It is still what it is. The same way they perceive it that time, no matter how we that are educated perceive it this time, it is still what it is, home and abroad. Because, yes, when you see a woman that had a baby out of wedlock, no matter the person's circumstances, the society still perceives it that way. Yeah. As long as you're not divorced, you're not a widow, the society, I quote, the society must surely perceive it immoral. But because we're educated, we feel the world is moving, and those are the things that are changing the world, making the morals to decline, and it's affecting everybody. Like I said, I would like to repeat again. Some of them were deceived, some of them were raped, yeah? Some of them are not educated. But in the society mindset, it is what it is.
Okay. So what do you have to say concerning youths of this our generation that like to copy? I mean, in those days, our parents did not know what social media is. They didn't know anything concerning the Western world because they couldn't like see it through us except when they came. So now the youth of this our society tend to copy other people cultures, like foreign cultures, and forget about our own culture and moralities. So what do you think might be the cause of that?
Okay, first of all, in terms of culture, I'm always of the opinion that people should respect other people's belief. That's value. Everyone should respect other people's belief, other people's culture, other people's view. Not because you believe in this, then the other person should believe it. No. To me, it's wrong morally. So everybody, if you are a Christian, respect that you're a Christian. Respect the Muslims. The same way goes to the Muslim. If your culture permits you to wear trousers, respect that. If your culture says do not, respect that. It's people's beliefs and view. And again, all the causes of all this, we are copying the Western world, we're doing this. Yes, we wanted to be educated. We're educated now. And now you can see how we're doing more than the people we learned from. And turning it into negativity. Yes. Because when you look back to the olden days, people were maintaining their belief and culture, and things were working well. Again, I always like to say this. Things that are happening, we're seeing on social media, it have been happening. Just that we're fortunate to have what they call social media. For instance, when you're looking at, when the people that are doing, what is it called? When you see videos of where they rape someone, all those infidelity, all those stuff, people killing each other, it have been happening. But we don't have the technology to get your neighbor to know, except you told your neighbor. Yeah. So whenever I'm in conversation with, oh my God, what is happening in the country, social media, this is what is going on, people are killing each other, it have been there. But we were not really aware. We are only aware of what is happening within us. But it has been there. That is the truth. Sometimes people say they have security guards sleeping with their master's children, or it have been there. But social media is now creating an awareness. Let me put it that way. Social media have created an awareness for you to know that such thing exists. Such people have had such experience, for you to have empathy for people who are going through things like this.
You spoke about some of our parents not being educated and how it's affected some of the children. And are you saying that not being educated then might have affected the parents and how they brought up the youths and how it results to how they're acting now?
Moral has nothing to do with education.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Moral has nothing to do with education. I came from a very good background. My father is not educated to that high standard, yes. So moral does not have anything to do with education. Like I said, moral is what is wrong, what is right. Take for instance, you have children and you teach them how to eat rice and you say don't eat beans. They grow with it. So that's what moral is. Your father says to you or your mother says to you, you must kill to win. And the other person's father says to them, you must not kill to win. You negotiate. And when it doesn't work out, you step aside. It has nothing to do with education. So it's, like I said, parenting or family or society is recycling. When you were a baby, you grow up, you become a parent, your children become baby, they grow up, it's recycling. So it's not about education. Those days, they were not educated. But there was, in fact, the morals was more standard. So it's about knowing what is. For instance, there are people who don't eat fish, not because fish hurts them or something. I know of a friend that said they don't eat ram or they don't eat, something like that. And she wanted to find out, and they were told that when there was war, it was a ram that passed through, it was like an angel. Now you see, this is what is imbibed in her. And that's why she can never eat ram. But I eat ram. If you give me ram, I will eat. because I was given and I was told I can eat ram. So moral is not about education. It's about what it is. It's about this is wrong. Oh, killing your neighbor is wrong. Oh, cheating on your neighbor is wrong. Let me take you to the Bible. There are 10 commandments, but one that supersedes all is love your neighbor as yourself. That's the moral and value. There's no two ways about it. And we as human beings understand this moral with or without education.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the difference between morals and values?
It's just a thin line. Moral is the rules that governs the family, the society. It's what, like, where you have what it is. This is what is to be. This is how it's going to be. Nobody must wear trousers to come in here. For instance, my grandfather, when you're going to greet him, if I was dressed this way, I'm an Igbo woman, I'll go and tie a wrapper to go and greet him. That's his own value, but not moral. Now, but value is belief. That's his belief. And when I finish greeting him, I remove the wrapper and wear my trouser and continue. But the moment I want to see my grandfather, I'm told, grandfather is around, I tie my wrapper and go and greet him. As soon as I step aside, I remove it. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not, killing anyone because I'm wearing trousers. But that's my grandfather's belief. As long as I'm concerned, it's not moral. Moral is, this is not good. This is not bad. This is bad. This is wrong. This is right. That's what moral is. So the thin line is belief and what should be.
Thank you very much for coming. We will be glad
welcome.
to have you again next time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it on today's episode. Join us again next time for a fresh episode. I remain your anchor, Fejere David Osai. Bye for now.